Hello everyone, welcome back to Webs of Deceit. My name is Donovan and I'm your DM, and last time we went through Deceit, our crew went to Mapleleaf Grove on the way to Branchmorrow. While they were there, they discovered the town was overrun with a group of racists called the Web Smashers. After staying the night there, they took care of everyone involved and they rid the town of those terrible people. And now we're going to go around the table and reintroduce ourselves. My name's Trenton. I play Nasir, the Runecrafter Wizard. My name's Ty. I play Durak, the Eldritch Knight and Wizard. My name is Talia. I play the Arca, the Rogue Paladin. My name is Maggie. I play Pebbles, the Valor Bard. My name is Kyler, and I play Jeremy Drake, the Forge Cleric. And I'm pretty sure it's on my players, because I'm looking at them right now, as I'm recording this for the first time.
Welcome back, everyone, to Webs of Deceit. Last time, the group was questioned by Sir Xerxes of the Center Hub about the events surrounding Big Pete. And during their last day in Needle Crown, they met Liarica, a mysterious woman who claims to be a wandering member of the Church of Grasskern, sent by a Bishop Ray to observe Jeremy's actions. When in reality, she was ordered to watch over the Dwergar by Bishop Vernon, leader of the Western Strength. After Liarica joined the group, they nabbed Axel the Radial Knight and went on their way to Branchmorrow. However, after a full day's travel, the crew encountered a strange town with a worrisome population and a complete lack of spiders. After a brief amount of investigating, the party discovered the town had been taken over by the Web Smashers, a spider hate group growing in infamy. The party dispatched a radial fraud and took the fight to the Smashers, who had taken up residence in Town Hall. After a brutal conflict, our party came out on top and freed the town from its sinister clutches. You gained one further addition to the party, a young brown recluse named Horizon, who is looking for his mom in Branchmorrow. And with that, we pan back over to our party right as Jeremy wakes up from his dream that we discussed at the end of last session.
I think I had another nightmare, right? Something like that.
You for
Some
sure.
horrifying premonition of things to come.
You for sure did. If you'd like, I can remind you.
I would love a recap.
Fantastic.
We totally haven't had a hiatus of several months.
Look, man, your PC bricks one time, and all of a sudden you wait 4 months to play D&D.
Happens to the best of us, really.
So last night's dream, Jeremy, you are once again chained and bound by cold iron as you scan your surroundings. Your doppelganger is standing across from you, its eyes piercing your soul. It smirks slightly as a group of shadow figures begin to line up beside it. Your double raises up one of its hands and caresses the back of a figure's neck. The figure seizes up for a moment, hunches its shoulders, and doubles over, before rising back up with a purple glow behind its eyes. The shadowy figure turns away from you and walks off into the distance. And that's the end of your dream.
What? And he would wake up and scribble in his notebook while trying to decipher. Is that some kind of eldritch magic or something?
It's completely unknown to you, but you have all now woken up again in the Crunch and Munch Inn, owned by Crunch the Orc. He let you stay the night pretty much for free because you did save this town from a group of racists.
We did
The Ku Klux Klan!
The Ku Klux Klan!
They're super dead. We killed them.
Oh, they're dead as hell.
Absolutely brutally murdered them.
But they're all pretty much dead.
Who did that?
Yeah. Who on
It
earth?
was mostly you, I think.
No, it was absolutely mostly
Yes.
Just
Are
obliterated.
we done
with
this one? I was informed that that no one had killed anyone in the party, and that I instantly killed 8 people upon emerging.
Yes. We needed that. As a player.
You know, just the blood hadn't started really gushing out of the faucet yet, and you helped fix that problem for us.
Well, in bystanders, we took a pretty pacifist approach, and
For the
then
most
I was a
part.
little worried that in this campaign we would also do that, but no. My character will, but not the party.
No, so most of us are... I mean, killing isn't most of our characters' first options isn't to kill on sight. Most.
We have a solution to that.
I'm not naming names, but I am looking directly at you.
I really like.
I won't say what kind of doctor. It was a Jewish doctor. My favorite Kanye West quote. Folding under.
Of course.
He folded under exactly zero pressure.
Yeah.
Nothing was applied.
I really like that we had the no deaths, and then while you're having discussion, I stab him from behind.
Yes.
Did that kill him?
Did that kill him?
I smite.
that pretty much killed him.
Yeah, you just obliterated someone in a blinding light.
You put a lightsaber hilt to their back and turned it on.
Yes.
Classic.
So, this morning you would probably find Jeremy looking a little bit more distraught than usual, scribbling furiously in a book at a table by himself.
Yeah, Crunch is making breakfast for a lot more people than there were yesterday. You already, just from even hearing outside the town, seems more lively as they're trying to pick up the pieces after their occupation. If you look out the windows, you see lots of people are going to town hall to clean up and to start just to rebuild after you made a pretty big mess.
Jeremy, you seem to be writing a lot. What are you working on?
Sorry. It's just a private journal, basically. I explained already that I've been having some nightmares, right?
Yeah, did you have another?
Yeah, some. There's like an evil version of me that's like puppeting people around me. I don't know. It's hard to interpret, but it certainly doesn't look like holy magic.
Have you seen this doppelganger before?
Yeah, it's a bit of a recurring theme, it seems.
I see.
I'm often chained up and faced with some malicious version of myself. In your time with the church, have you ever heard of anything like this before?
I don't believe so, or I can...
Technically, nothing you would tell him.
Yeah. Like, have I don't know that I have.
I'll tell you, kind of, yes. Okay. But obviously it wouldn't be your character's first thing to say, but the concepts of dreams being, nightmares of course is its own thing, but Jeremy's dreams are, he's described as rather vivid and appear to have some deeper meaning, at least according to him and Bishop.
And consistent theming.
Yeah.
Consistent theming.
Concerning, yeah.
Yeah. Some have believed dreams to be prophetic, but nothing has come of it.
Right, that's why I'm going to Branchmorrow.
See.
Okay, thank you. I guess I should probably help out a little bit while everyone else is helping to rebuild. And he'll stuff his book into his bag, throw it on his back, and head out to go.
Alright.
Help with the efforts.
Fantastic. While you're heading out, Crunch does hand you, make sure that all of you have enough extra rations to go around, just in case you discover anything else along your way to Branchmorrow. What's everyone else up to this morning?
Pebbles is gonna be, she's gonna have like one of those little gardening shovels.
Okay.
A trowel, I think is the term. She's just gonna be like digging around on all fours looking for grubs and various bugs.
So where?
Probably just in the nearest like outside space, just where there's some nice like grass and trees. She's just digging around.
There is
for
plenty
grubs.
of grass in Everfull Forest, so you're more than able to find some grubs. While you're out there, roll a perception check.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
That's great, Kyler. I don't possibly know why.
I love future Donovan, but present Donovan, I hate him.
Bit of an ass.
I'm so perceptive.
Oh, that's a great roll, Maggie.
You're looking.
5.
With a 5, your attention is focused on your grubs, and you notice nothing out of the ordinary.
Does she even find the grubs?
She finds the grubs.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Big earthworm!
It wriggles around.
Yeah.
All right.
She puts it in the earthworm bag.
All
right.
creatures are precious, but please keep that away from me.
What else do you think she's getting the grubs for?
Pebbles reminded all of us, rather strangely, that she was in fact raised by birds. So,
just in case y'all forgot.
You saved
when
part of
you
the rock, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking not share with Rock.
What are you? Fucking pebbles in rock. It's fucking Lady in the Tramp being an earthworm.
Yeah, no, we're both foraging for earthworms right now.
You forage some earthworms. When you stand up and wipe the soil from your mouth, you do see Axel just looking at you while like reining in the horses.
Hi. I'm so sorry. That's so rude. Do you want one?
Yeah, I was gonna say she has no reason to be ashamed of it. So.
Hard pass, mate. I'm good.
Okay.
Awful.
Nash, what have you got yourself into? As he just shakes his head and adjusts his half-moon spectacles and keeps working with the horses.
Nash got himself involved in the liveliest party.
Certainly.
Something.
Durek and Nasir, how is your morning in Mapleleaf Grove going?
Nasir's like in the inn, and he's like at one of the like tables. He's got his like feet kicked up, and he's like making a new tattoo like right underneath his bicep. And he's just holding. He's like where like they hammer it in with a needle, and the needle's being held up by like magic because he can't hold it up with anything else, and he's just hitting it.
Mage hand holding it delicately.
Horizon Brown Recluse is watching pretty intently. He flicks beaks. What you making there?
Oh, it's just a bit of a mural for what happened here. I like to keep track of all the things I go on.
Oh yeah.
His 8 eyes scan the rest of your body. Seems you've had plenty of stories.
Well, yes, some of them are just stupid equations or things that I often like to remember, but yes, a few of them are just the journeys I've been on, but I think this one will go perfectly.
That's nice. While that happens, Crunch walks over and sits down next to you, slides over a plate of whatever breakfast you could have ordered. Right, so... Just, you know where our address is. Keep me updated if you find anything else about that curse affecting our loved ones.
Of course. If I find anything, I promise you'll be the first one I'd let know.
Thank you. And thanks again for helping rid our town of those bastards, so to speak.
Very much. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, honestly.
It was certainly an interesting experience. I wish I could have helped out more, but you didn't seem you needed it.
Oh, you've done enough. You allowed us to stay here for free of charge. I promise you, you've done your share.
Thank you, Nasir.
Of course.
He taps you on the shoulder and just goes back to his bartending duties. And Mr. Durek.
Durek's doing whatever heavy lifting needs to be done to help with the reconstruction efforts.
Yeah, you guys blew up a lot of stuff over in town hall, so they're kind of putting everyone to work. And you're a big, strong lad, so you're quite helpful. You're picking up wood. They're also helping.
So true.
Pick it up.
Wood.
It was the delivery of it specifically.
I spent my childhood picking up wood. Picking up like wooden beams of like a bunch of tables. They're mostly putting you in charge of dragging bodies out of there because you were responsible. At least you were helped get rid of most of them.
You're next to Jeremy, who's also helping and is not a big, strong lad, and is struggling to lift a wooden beam half the size of the one you're carrying.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, I got you.
Sonic, why are you lifting the
So
body?
this is up like this because you are taller.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks. I'll help how I can.
Alright, so Durek lifts one effortlessly over his shoulder.
You're lifting 90% of the beam that Jeremy's practically hanging
I like
on
to
to.
think you do the thing where even though he's way shorter than you, and you're carrying the beam over your shoulder, he's still carrying it above, where your like hands are dangling below, where he's carrying all of the weight and you.
Yes.
I need a Durek Jeremy like sexy lumberjack calendar, but like they're fully clothed,
You guys know,
like full armor, full
they make
everything.
the kilt?
Yeah, Jeremy would be in full half plate.
you remember the Una's honest video, where God, I forget his name, where Mr. Crank Game plays
Ethan.
where Ethan
Eth.
becomes a man while he's trying to build the doghouse and he has no idea what any tools do.
That's Jeremy!
Yes, that's Jeremy.
Jeremy is just Ethan attempting to build a doghouse.
Jeremy is just Ethan. In fact, I have written down on his character sheet, lanky Dwerger soft boy.
And if that isn't Mr. Crank gameplays to a T, I don't know what is.
I'm cranking my gameplay, Pebbles.
And
what is a gameplay, and why did I say that?
You are becoming intimately familiar with Riddle Jeremy in your dreams.
Oh no!
That's the Gongoozler.
Did you say what Liarica was up to this morning? I've already forgotten.
She was just talking to Jeremy and...
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
You already did it on your own. Once Axel is, at this point, is done saddling up with the horses, Axel is ready to go whenever you guys are. He's the NPC waiting with the dialogue option. Are you sure you want to leave right now? That's what I was up to.
Jeremy would probably group up first after realizing that he isn't a whole lot of help with the rebuilding efforts.
How far is our travel?
Axel says you have around a day and a half of travel still.
After moving all the corpses into the woods where the scavengers will just finish the job, Drax's going to join.
Normally I'd insist on giving them a grave, but... well...
You remember what was in those barrels.
Yes!
These
Don't remind me, God. I got it. It's seared into my mind.
It's hard to forget. I'm sorry.
They do not deter... fuck. They don't deserve the eternal gaze of Arachne in their death.
Definitely not. I don't think she'd dare look in their direction. I'm just... Wait, okay, hang on. Is Marcus the name of our connection in Branchmorrow?
No. Marcus is not your connection in Branch. You don't really have a connection in Branchmorrow at the moment.
We're looking for the guy that wrote the book.
Yes, Archibald Spindle is your connection in Branchmorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who you're going to be looking for. You're, all of you have your own little mini quest in Branchmorrow.
Right. I'm really looking forward to maybe getting some answers from this premonitions expert. I hope we can move out soon. We've got a day and a half of travel ahead of us.
I would agree. Let's all saddle up and get out of here. As you are getting ready, the townsfolk are waiting by you. Crunch, he comes up, shakes each of your hands, and when he looks over at Horizon, looks back at you, he's like, I am worried that Cletus may have killed Horizon's mom, Mrs. Thompson. Because you just didn't bring her back with Horizon. It could have easily just been a scare tactic to smother the hope of all of us, but just know you might not find her there.
I certainly hope that's not the case.
Me neither.
I at least hope if the worst has happened, I hope we can at least find what's left of her to put her at rest.
She was on the list.
Yeah, but she was not crossed off, so she was at least still out there. And while Cletus did announce in his little speech yesterday morning that Horizon was the last one, whether or not that was true or not remains to be seen.
Right. I'm sure he certainly wouldn't lie.
Of course not. Horizon is optimistic.
Pebbles is going to offer Horizon her God's juiciest earthworm that she found.
His eyes twinkle as he just kind of pounces on it and just... Thank you.
She's going to prestidigitation the dust speckles from off his face.
Aw. He kind of just does like a little dog thing, just kind of like shakes his head.
High five him with the petty pill.
Awesome. All right.
Friends.
So as you are getting out, and Axel once again mentions how long you have. Unfortunately, there isn't another town along the main road, so we're gonna have to camp outside this evening.
I'm prepared for that. That's okay.
Right.
You always love sleeping under the stars.
Absolutely.
If we're able to see them, the closer we get to Branchmorrow, the higher the trees will get. We might not be able to see much over the canopy.
But nature can serve as its own inspiration, plenty.
Not the way you think, Drake.
Thank you.
So
I like to think of myself as an artist.
Axel
what's
was
your
not.
artist name?
Jeremy?
How's... Ah, on the nose, but fair enough.
I'm very confused now.
I didn't know if you had like an alias or something. Jeremy Drake.
I'm not a rapper.
What's that?
I don't know.
Slow bling.
Right then. You all carry on.
Sound cloud? I don't know that spell.
The sound cloud. Obviously, that is a giant cloud that can hold sound for a long time and plays random noise whenever it passes overhead. It's canon now.
Yeah, can you remind me of Branchmorrow?
Branchmorrow is the largest city in the Everfull Forest. It is home to one of the larger churches in the Weave, and that is because that is where a ley line is. That's where a lot of Arachne's magic after she made the Weave lies, which is why there's a city there to begin with.
Definitely look forward to getting some wisdom from the church in Branchmorrow for sure.
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of other interesting things there as well. A lot of you are looking forward to see. We have records to search. We have old friends to meet. We got a lot to do. And as you march along, Direct, do you like to read just your notes from time to time, just to look over, just read some old stories that you've transcribed from your people?
Yeah.
Sweet. I actually have some written down what you got here. So, through your notes, there are often in stories about Arachne, the bigger churches highlight some of her greater miracles, like the time she added a new species of bird just for fun, or the time she blessed an entire church on a Weave-wide holiday because they threw her a surprise party. But your family and lots of minotaurs from your village, of which there are many, would tell you stories of her smaller miracles. One night, when your great-great-uncle was lonely after the death of his wife, Arachne kept him company and made small talk with him until he was able to fall asleep. Arachne was supposedly the maid of honor at your friend Marco's great-great-grandmother's wedding, and there are at least a dozen stories like this about Arachne, how Arachne truly cared about her creations, her people.
Oh yeah.
You were also able to do something quite impressive. You were able to narrow down the exact date the Great Silence began.
Oh shit.
500. You assume this information is readily available, but Direct did it without. He didn't have Wikipedia. He did this on his own. He did his own research. 500 years ago, on the 39th day of spring.
39th day of spring, 500 years ago.
Yep.
I need a pencil.
I think I have one for you.
I have a pencil. Here you are.
How many years ago?
I also wrote it down.
500 years ago, on the 39th day of spring. That is when Direct discovered when the Great Silence began. While this is happening, Axel trots up beside Zuliarica.
Yes.
So, I heard you were trying to become a radial knight.
Yes, that is true.
Well, how long have you been with the church?
Oh, 15, 16 years?
15 bloody years. How long you been doing, he gestures to your sword and your crossbow.
About 15, 16 years.
He looks incredulous. And you haven't become a radial knight?
Yes, I was sent specifically to, Needle Crown. I was housed with the Radial Knights in, Needle Crown, as if I head along with them and do what they ask, I may become a Radial Knight, finally.
It seems awfully strict. No,
Is
we're not quite. I became a radial knight after 4 years.
Oh.
If you were doing as good as work as I saw you back in Mapleleaf Grove, I think you should have been a radial knight ages ago.
Interesting. Maybe it has something to do with how young I am.
How old are you?
I am 21.
I'm 20. I'm 20.
Oh.
Oh no!
Well.
Heartbreak after heartbreak.
Yeah, he is very confused as to why you aren't a radial knight, because you are clearly very talented. This Bishop Ray sounds like a hot ass.
Yes. Well, it may be, sins of the father and all that. I was taken in by Bishop Ray after my parents were rightfully struck down by the church.
Rightfully? What'd they do?
I hear they have had heresy of the highest account against Arachne, and they needed to be put down.
He shakes his head and makes that noise, and he adjusts his glasses. Well, I'm certainly you've tried to atone for that, then.
Yes, it's what I've dedicated every moment of my life to.
Can't believe what they would have done would have transferred to 15 to 16 years of doing great work, but
I don't much remember them, but I've been told it was deserving of 15 to 16 years of service.
Your memory of your parents is, of course, very, very fuzzy. Your only memory of what life was even like beforehand was... The only vivid memory you have is you, very woozy, in a burning house, being walked down the stairs by a black tabaxi with a fresh cut over his right eye, carrying a knife in his hands. He walks out through the front door of a house and he meets up with Bishop Vernon in front, and in front of them lays dozens of living and non-living members of this village. Hello, Father. I found this one in the house. Really? And she is that one's daughter. Burn the rest. Bring her home with us. And that's about all you remember from that.
Right.
You remember some loud noises, a sign of a scuffle outside of your room, and then that tabaxi man came in and carried you out. Clearly he had just come from a fight.
Yeah.
I do want to ask, is this conversation happening out in the open?
This is
Axel's not making any attempt to hide this conversation, so...
But what Donovan is actively saying is my memory.
Yeah.
No, I got
Okay,
you.
got it,
no,
got it,
just
got
the
it,
conversation as a
But
whole.
Axel
because
yapping to Liarica is he's making no attempt to make that private. He's
the
just
second you would have said the word heresy, Pebbles would have kind of went over to the corner of the traveling group, pulled out a quill, and started just feverishly writing.
Interesting.
Feverishly.
I don't know what she's up to.
Concerned thought.
Can I roll a history as to what could possibly be the highest heresy?
The highest heresy, go ahead.
I think I'd also like to roll religion on that.
Sure.
That's going to be a 15.
15?
Natural 20.
A natural 20. All right, we'll go with you first.
Sorry. I guess it wouldn't make sense
Durak,
for the cleric to know what the highest
that would make
heresy
sense.
is.
Durak, from your studies, highest heresy is a lot of things. That is conspiracy to overthrow the Weaver, trying to denounce Arachne, the maiming and killing and eating of spiders.
Who is the Weaver?
The Weaver is Richter Verkensilk. He is a very old high elf. You've seen his face many, many times because he is, I suppose, advertised and made known in Needlecrown. He's
basically the Pope, right?
He's the Spider Pope.
Yeah,
pretty
okay,
much.
I remember.
He came into power a few decades after the Great Silence began.
Oh, okay.
So like 470-ish years ago. Now, as for you, Jeremy, you know all of that, but you also know that the definition of heresy changes from certain sects of the church.
Oh.
Heresy of the highest order could mean that thing, but it could also mean things like the Grasskern Church, the burning of crops intentionally is considered heresy of the highest order.
Right, basically doing something against the wills of the church.
Doing something against the wills of that church. For the Church of Scorchborough, it is intentionally setting off a volcano to destroy stuff.
Oh! Okay.
And for something like the Western Strength, it is whatever the hell they want.
Right. So that could be
Literally
broad.
anything.
I love the Inquisition.
Jeremy would be concerned, definitely has a bit more concern and respect for Lyrica's plight.
Yeah. So from what the story Liarica is telling you, her parents did something so dastardly and so terrible that she is struggling to become a Radial Knight, even though with her, quite frankly, S-tier performance in all of her recent battles.
Yeah.
Block picking the front door aside.
And not to mention
It
that
happens to everyone.
True!
Not to mention that that's not even something she did. That's something her parents did. That's since
No,
her father
and
passed down. It was that bad.
I'm sure that would never be thematic in this.
For whatever reason, the transitive of property applies to sin, so...
Oh, yeah.
That is known.
Obviously,
Of course.
Gerdoy...
Wow, you're filmed with the transitive property of sin. That's
If
so
you
cool.
commit a great sin and have multiple children, do they all bear the same weight, or does it get spread evenly across?
These
them?
kind of theological questions keep you up and keep your mind as we walk along towards Branchmorrow, and eventually the sun does begin to set, unless anyone has any other conversations they'd like to have with either any of the party or Horizon or whatever.
Durek, you're trying to become a radio knight, yes?
Kinda. It's not like my big goal, but it'd be nice.
So, you are not of faith, correct?
One more time?
You're not of faith?
Oh, I'm a faith.
Oh.
He's not an atheist, but he's
Yeah.
not a member of the church.
That's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, yes, but he's not
Have
hired.
you made steps towards that? Have you spoken to anyone about it?
Not yet.
Okay.
I intended to do so when
Yes.
we went to the city.
You got an elevator pitch from Xerxes, pretty much. And Axel gave you the gist of how it works. Pretty much all you gotta do is sign up,
Is this a
and
private
then they'll
conversation?
monitor.
Not really.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'd be happy to introduce you to Bishop Ripley. He's very welcoming to new members.
Yes, you need the blessing. The most important thing is you need the blessing of a member of the church.
Yeah.
I suppose I could do so myself, but I'm not quite.
You are not high
to
enough
that
rank yet.
Oh, okay.
What does your rank remind me?
Something.
He's just a priest.
Cleric.
He's normal priest.
Yeah, priest.
So wait, you want to become a radial knight. You want to become a radial knight.
Yes.
For the record, I don't.
So all we need to do is promote Jeremy.
No. I
Technically would work.
I don't like fighting.
Technically speaking, that would work.
You don't have to fight. I did come with the express purpose of interviewing you to see if you were fit for bishophood.
Really?
Yes, I told you this.
I forgot.
2 days ago.
It's been a stressful few days. Don't worry about it.
I understand. There's been a lot of rumors, and
I suppose I certainly wouldn't turn an offer like that down. I mean, I'll do whatever I can in service to Arachne, but I was a little more hoping to focus on teaching of the word rather than any monicum of fame that comes with being a radial knight.
Well, that is not you being a radial knight, but you ascending to someone who would spread the word. There's been a lot of rumors and just unrest about Arachne recently, and I, along with a group of several others, have been sent out to study priests of note and see if they would be fit to ascension.
Wow,
Jeremy, it is entirely possible that Ripley's been so impressed that he would send someone to come and look at you for bishophood as a fun surprise.
Right. I'm honored. I hope I live up to the expectations of the church.
I hope you do as well.
I think you've been doing great so far, Jeremy.
Well, thank you, Axel.
He gives you a thumbs up.
Jeremy's kind of smiling more than you've seen him smile maybe at all.
Guess first off the church. When we get there. Maybe
Now, as you settle down for the night, the sun dips below the horizon and actual horizon, and the night sky makes itself known. Now, here's some more world building. I'm going to do that every time so you know I'm building the world. It's going to be great.
Hell yeah. I like it when you give the context for building the world.
Unlike our world, there is no moon and no stars. Instead, the night sky is covered from east to west in cracks. And peeking through the cracks is brilliant white light, as if the night sky is just barely holding back an ocean of fire.
Okay, that's sick.
Liarka?
One could say it looks like webs.
Liarka, could I tell you something?
Of course, Pebbles.
I've had this running theory for a while, but I've always been laughed at whenever I try to bring it up to people. I think the Earth is round.
Isn't it generally considered to be the plane of
We are
Arachne?
on an expansive web that is flat, you see.
Yeah.
And
hell are they talking?
I will not laugh at you, but
Round planet.
that could be seen as heresy. depending
Yeah,
on the truth.
he probably shouldn't say that when we get to Branchmorrow.
But what if it's... Because, well, we know that there are round orbs. We know that there are round webs, like orb weavers.
Our
Think
world
about
is
orb
a great
weavers.
expanse that's encompassed by Arachne's webs.
But it could be a big web with smaller webs in the middle, and we could be on one of those smaller webs or on one of the outer webs.
I struggle to visualize, so I have no idea what you're talking about. But
Jeremy Drake has aphantasia.
Makes my dreams even more concerning.
Right, doesn't it?
Well, advantageous doesn't mean you can't dream.
No, I know.
As you were all talking, Liarica, your sending stone begins to vibrate.
Oh. Moshi mosh.
I assume you're not.
Shoot you with a gun.
Yeah, I would step off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you step up behind a tree. They're all making fire as the adultery tones of Bishop Barnaby Vernon. All right, Liarica, give me a status report.
Well, we found some. Are you familiar with the Web Smashers?
That treacherous bunch of non-believers.
Yeah, we found a group of them and dealt with them.
I should hope you dealt with them accordingly.
Of course. I have been listening to Jeremy's dreams.
Yes. Tell me.
He's been having dreams of an evil version of himself. Just last night he had another vision of his evil doppelganger puppeting people around him.
Interesting. That could be a terrible omen.
I agree.
Perhaps another omen of the Great Decay. Vernon thinks most things are an omen of the Great Decay.
Yeah.
So that's not anything special, but
That does scan.
did he tell you anything else? Is there a place where he catalogs his dreams?
He does have a journal. I don't know where he keeps it. I haven't.
Well, you had better find out, girl.
I will. Something has been brought to my attention. I've met a few of the radio lights that I've been set up with.
Really?
Yes.
What have they been putting in your ears?
The ones
Speak, child!
the ones I have met have been younger than me, and they said that they have become radio lights in 4 years of service.
A rush job.
I figured as much.
And as you know, their parents were probably not as heretical as yours,
Yes.
child.
Yes, I apologize. It was foolish to bring up.
I would agree. I want to hear no such talk of this again. You will become a radio knight when I think the time is right.
I understand, Bishop.
And complete this quest. I might strongly consider it.
Of course, it is the highest honor. I will do what I can to get. I will not do what I can. I will get.
That's what I like to hear. Report back again tomorrow night, and make sure you tell me everything about his dreams.
Yes, Bishop.
He hangs up on you.
What a pleasant guy. Coincidentally, as you walk back to the camp, you would see Jeremy looking up at the cracks in the sky with, figuratively, stars in his eyes while writing down in the journal.
He actually has one more thing to say to you.
Okay.
So, as you know, I've been in Branchmorrow these past few days, where the most recent disaster happened that our friend Marcus foresaw. I've been trying to reach their hearts and minds, just let them know that this is a sign of what's to come. Hopefully I can persuade them to join our cause.
Yes.
We must be ready for the end. And then he hangs up on you.
What a lovely guy.
Jeremy, you have a dream.
How big is your journal?
Standard book size.
My apologies, I jumped the gun. Maybe we're not ready to fall asleep yet. What's everyone up to now?
I have a question about the cracks.
The cracks, delightful.
Do they stay in one place every night, or do they move?
They stay in one place every night.
Beautiful.
Nasir,
Oh, so there's gonna be star maps, probably.
you heard me talking about the web being round, right? You don't think I'm crazy, right?
No.
That's a relief.
Nasir, roll deception.
That was the most insincere no.
No, of course not.
Of course not, darling.
You're not crazy. Oh shit.
I'm a round webber. You have to understand.
No, how common is this the web is round theory?
Unheard of.
Okay, I figured.
No, listen.
Jeremy would have looked at you in shock and
So,
been like, I don't think you should be saying
Pebbles,
that.
even though your heart is in the right place, Nasir has rolled a 5 on his deception, so you get a nagging feeling that he might be lying to you.
Nasir, if you think I'm crazy, you can just say it. It's okay.
I don't think you're crazy. It's just a little far-fetched, but...
No, but listen, I've been doing the math, I've been doing the research, and there's a lot of people in a lot of places saying, maybe, you know about orb weavers, right? And she just, speaks and speaks and speaks, and you can hear her speech kind of, breaking down. And...
Pebbles, please, just listen to me. Just keep on doing your research, and when you come back with solid evidence... I love to hear your theories. I love the thought of something, of just your theories and the rumors that you hear, and I want you to keep going at it. But I need something. It's not that I don't believe you, but I want you to prove yourself right.
Jeremy's eyes would break away from the sky, and he'd look at Pebbles. Pebbles, if the world was round, wouldn't the cracks be in different positions depending on where you are? That we all have the same sight of Arachne's webs in the sky.
And they've never moved. He pulls off his jacket, you can see another mural of cracks in the sky, but different location.
No.
This one was taken.
No, but there's a chance that it could... You're right.
From across the campfire, Liarga's laying down in a sleeping bag. Pebbles, I, for the record, also don't think you're crazy. I think it is quite brave. Especially with the fear you showed me yesterday. But I think thinking outside of the status quo is brave. But this specific thing is heresy, and you should not speak of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I won't. And
Yeah,
Pebbles...
She lays back down.
We won't report this, but don't say that in the church when we get there.
Okay.
I may have to report this.
That's fair.
Don't
report that
don't be
I'm
a
not
knock.
reporting it.
Come
Yeah,
on.
I trust
Come
you.
on, man.
You got that.
I will continue my research in secret.
You do that. I can't wait.
I'll prove you all wrong, Nasir. I can do it.
Do it.
I believe in me.
You should.
And that's all I need.
That's all you need.
This sure is a dynamic. Anyway, bedtime.
Jeremy,
Do we have tents or something?
Yeah.
Do we have individual tents?
you have individual tents and
Okay.
no killer robots to blow them up.
You will notice that
Damn.
Jeremy's tent seems to be glowing for some reason. He has, in fear that he will have another nightmare, he has cast light on his shield to go to sleep to it.
Alright, Jeremy is unable to enter REM. There's a light here. So, Jeremy, you do have a dream. However, this is one of your ones where you aren't chained up, where you instead are seeing some manner of misty visions. Tonight's dream is similar to the one you had 2 nights ago. You were not chained up, or really even corporeal within the realm of the dream itself. And you are once again bestowed with a short vision. You see a large, city-like structure in the shape of a triangle. Everything within the city is covered by shadow and fog, but as your eyes trace up from the bottom, the fog and shadows dissipate. You see more and more of the city. The answers of what was behind the fog are all revealed to you until you get to the top. At the peak of the triangle, the fog and shadows remain, almost defiantly so. Your vision focuses further and further onto the top of the triangle until you feel a strong pressure behind your eyes and a ringing in your ears. You stare and stare and stare, and right as the pressure and ringing reaches its zenith, your eyes snap open.
A triangle city? Can I roll history or something? Do I know a city that looks like that?
Yes.
If you're willing to share your dream out loud, I can help you.
I might later, but I have just woken up.
That's fair.
19?
A city where it's larger at the bottom and smaller at the top does match up with the description of what Branchmorrow is.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Also, there appear to be, and Jeremy would be scribbling in his book about the dream that he just had in his current thoughts, and the thought process he's currently following is that there's 2 different types of premonition dreams that he's been getting. There's the ones where he's been chained up and seeing his doppelganger, and there's the foggy vision one. Is there a pattern to them so far? Have they been alternating?
There's been no real discernible pattern.
Okay. Interesting.
You've just been having these dreams almost every night. Speaking of your dreams, what happens? The Ark, are you going to attempt to get his dream journal at all this evening?
Not this evening.
Not this evening. Perhaps with a giant glowing shield in his tent. That was probably a smart idea.
At the moment he woke up in the wee hours of the morning to scribble down, he would have recast light on his shield again to write by.
Right, so you all tool up, you break down your tents, get back on your horses, and as you continue to go near Branchmorrow, the size of the trees have grown almost impossibly large. The trunks are as thick as fortresses and seem to stretch endlessly into the sky. As a result, it's gotten quite a lot darker on the forest floor, despite it still being rather early in the day. Another indicator that you are nearing Branchmorrow are the numerous lanterns that have begun to light the path, an apparent countermeasure against the darkened forest floor.
Cool.
Finally, you arrive at the trunk of a particularly large tree and have begun to hear lots of noise from above you. If you look up, you would see faint shapes darting back and forth across from branch to branch. The entire sky above you looks alive. You are directly underneath the great city of Branchmorrow. On the gigantic trunk in front of you are numerous elevators with spiders and string rope and a well-maintained staircase that wraps around the tree on the way up. So, we are here. And Trenton, you have been here before, and like a month ago I did message you what the topography and what the overall, what Branchmorrow looks like.
Wow, this place is incredible.
Isn't it?
The trees are massive, and it's so vertical. It almost reminds me of home in a way, but it's very different from a cave.
Light peeks through ever so slightly, though the forest floor does almost indiscernible from deep evening. You can imagine at night it would be almost entirely pitch black.
It's dark and crowded, but so alive.
Off in the distance, there are also large moving shapes. It seems the fauna has decided to grow in tandem with the trees, so...
Is that a mega squirrel?
The mega squirrel puts a paw up to his lips and recedes behind the trunk.
Pebbles, do you think there's big birds? You have to meet them.
Wonderful.
Rock, we have a mission.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot about the rock voice.
I don't see how you could have.
It's been months, Donovan.
You mean you don't think about this campaign every minute of every day like I do sometimes?
You know, you're right. Rock's voice should be present in all my dreams. Jeremy is
this
haunted
is some
by
fucked up shit you got going on in
visions,
here.
and I'm haunted by Rock.
BDSM, big dream.
Super Mario!
Wahoo!
Big Dream Super Mario Wahoo, everybody.
Yep.
Now, Branchmorrow sits high above the ground. The city is built into and around the gigantic trees of the Everfull Forest. It's built in a triangular structure with 3 distinct tiers. And if you would, I can either read this out, or if you would like to, Trenton, you can, since you could talk to the party. It's up to you, really.
We'd love a tour. I'm particularly interested in where the church is and how to get to the top.
Well,
and that's something Jeremy hadn't vocalized before, was an interest in getting to the top, so.
Well, the church is in the main, like, the shopping district, and that's where, like, everything is. It's on these beautiful branches. I mean, you have to see the plays here.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
the plays that they have are just beautiful.
This is the arts capital of the League. This is where scholars and mages go to study this kind of stuff.
He's like, this is where I learned magic. I mean, this place is it's just beautiful. It's amazing.
That's lovely. I'd love to talk with some playwrights and poets, maybe. If we have time. I suppose we do have more
You have
important
all the
stuff
time.
to do.
As far as you're aware, you have all the time in the world.
Well, I think we should get going, because it hasn't been a while since I've been here, and I'd like to go back up and...
Absolutely.
Alright, so you all you can go up the stairs if you're maniacs. You can take the elevators if you'd like.
Backward long jump up the stairs.
Yahoo! Yahoo! Yee!
Stairs are kind of...
BD Super Mario, as it were.
That seems like a lot of stairs. I think we should take the elevators that have been hopefully put into service.
You and a lot of other people milling in from other roads come down to the bottom of the trunks, and you are lifted up into the sky. The forest floor becomes fainter and fainter as you ascend, as you enter the lowest but also the largest part of Branchmorrow, the trunks. The largest area of Branchmorrow consists of living arrangements and farms that harvest a bountiful amount of fruit among these branches. A lot of Branchmorrow population is Aarakocra, so lots of the houses resemble bird houses. But all of the buildings are strung together with sturdy bridges, ladders, and tunnels carved into the trees themselves. Silk is the primary rope used here.
I have a question.
Yes.
Out of character.
Sure.
Are there any bark spiders around?
Bark spiders? Of course there are.
Great. Good.
There are all kinds of spiders around here. They are more laissez-faire about how they go across. They just hop from house to bridge.
Right.
There are lots of ways for spiders to get around here. There's jumping spiders carrying the mail. There's just orb weavers who are doing some construction. There's all kinds of crap happening around here. And Nasir, you remember that Quaith lives here in the trunks.
Oh, I need to stop. I had the person who, my mentor in magic, I lived here for 4 years, so when I first came here, I didn't really know what I was doing. But I had a wonderful friend of mine named Quaith. She originally was my teacher, but eventually I got to learn about her a bit more, and we just became friends. And she lived in these areas, but
well, I'd love to meet her if we have time.
Oh, absolutely.
I always love talking to folks proficient in other schools of magic.
Oh yes, she was quite gifted.
If you'd like, you can roll some manner of history to remind yourself where Quaith's house is.
Sure.
Tap the old noggin.
I'm tapping this noggin for real. 14.
14, that'll do it. So you take your friends across the rather stable bridges and ladders over to...
Don't be scared.
I'm not quite used to these heights, but I'll be
You find a birdhouse-like structure that has multiple bridges connected to it. However, you can tell that they were in addition and did not used to be there. There is some smoke coming out of a chimney, so someone is inside.
I'm gonna go up and knock on the door.
You knock. I'm coming, give me a moment. You hear the tapping of talons on wood as
I pushed Jeremy Drake in front of me to hide behind his
Wait. Shouldn't you be introducing us?
And whoever opens the door is a lovely-looking blue jay Aarakocra with no wings.
Hello.
Hello. Are you a wandering priest? I assure you, I'm already a devout follower here.
My name is Jeremy Drake, but we're friends of
I just pop over his shoulder.
Nasir! She just pushes you aside, frankly, and
whoa!
And,
Jeremy falls to the ground.
He falls off the bridge.
Didn't push him very hard, but
and
Family Guy death pose.
She takes Nasir in a great hug, and just shakes him for a second. You didn't tell me you were coming! She puts her hands on your face, looking very pleased to see you.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be here. It just happened.
You are a wayward soul, aren't you?
Oh, certainly.
Oh, look at your body! She bangs up one of your arms. You've
He's
been adding to this. You've
showing off.
You've added to this quite a bit, haven't you?
I sure have.
She giggles to herself, very pleased to see you here. I see you have a party with you. Are you
yes.
Who are your friends? Mr. Jeremy, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I blow over in the wind.
That's all right.
I believe that.
I've
yes.
seen it happen.
It gets a little windy up here. We'll have to put a harness on you, shall we?
Yeah, I guess you could say we all have our own goals in Branchmorrow. It just ended up being convenient to travel together.
You can see within our house there are loads and loads of magical books. There's ripe arcana within her little abode here.
Oh, if you would permit us, I would love to partake of some reading of some of the materials.
Yes, come in. I'd be happy to host you.
How wide are the doors?
How wide are the doors? Wide enough. You can squeeze inside.
Drag has to wait outside.
Yeah. As you all walk inside, she graciously shakes each of your hand. Hello, I'm Quaith. Hello, I'm Quaith.
Durek.
Durek, delightful to meet you.
Not used to being this high up.
Yeah. She invites you all inside. It is rather small. This is mostly 1 or 2 people here, but she manages to scrounge up some pillows for a table as she goes into her small kitchen and begins making some kind of, I guess, sandwich tray for everyone.
Hell yeah.
So, Nicia, what brings you back to Branchmorrow?
Oh, we were looking for questions, with the church and everything, and we just want to do some research with some books. I know, especially Jeremy here wanted to come.
Are you looking for someone in particular?
I've been looking for pretty general research material, but in particular, I was hoping to meet with the author of the Midnight Cipher, actually.
Archibald Spindle! I know.
Yes.
I've lived here my entire life, so I know exactly where he lives. I would be delighted to take a friend of Nicia's there.
Oh, that would be exceptionally helpful.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. It must have been a long journey, though. Feel free to relax and have some of these sandwiches I've made just while we're here. I'd like some time to catch up with my friend.
Thank you dearly for your hospitality.
Of course. Nasir, how long have you been gone from Branchmorrow?
Probably around a year and a half.
Year and a half. All right. Even though it hasn't been that long of a time, she is still acting like it's the first time in decades she's seen you. She's a little too used to losing people that she's liked, so the fact that you are here again is very nice. Again, Eric Cocker have wings. She does not.
Oh.
Would Jeremy have met any Aarakocra before?
You know of them. You've
Right.
seen them flying around. They all have wings, and she seems to be of similar species, but wingless.
Okay. I don't think Jeremy would openly question that.
So what have you been up to? Where have you been?
Oh, I went to Grasskern. I was doing some farming there, just some research on the agricultural part of the land. Rather boring, if I do say so myself.
Well, arboreal-based farms are quite interesting themselves. I do not know how ground-based, line-based farming would compare, but it's like I always say, you can find the beauty in these things.
That is true. That's actually where I met this one right here.
Durek, yes.
Let me tell you, #1 scarecrow and cross the land.
God, it's true.
Rock crows indignantly.
Yeah, Pebbles looks her like her eyes start around a little bit, and then she goes back to what she was doing.
I told you already, Rock. I'm not going to.
Oh, great! My goodness.
Doing that in the home of an
It scared me like that.
Quaith does briefly flinch after that. Well, I get an air of the arcane around you yourself, Mr. Durek. Are you a practitioner of the arcane?
A little bit of this, a little of that. I'm still getting used to it.
It's true, it is a wild beast to tame, as it were.
There's not much room to learn magic out in Grasskern, after all.
I imagine not.
Well, this is certainly a decent resource here. Sure,
Yes, the library. Oh my goodness, to see the library. Remember how I told you how it'd been recently refurbished and redone a little bit?
Yes.
Oh, it's as beautiful as the day it was built all those centuries ago. I wasn't around, but I've heard.
Centuries old.
Oh, you should.
This city
You're so
this city is a very old city. It's one of the first ever made in the weave.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Miss Pebbles.
We went to Needle Crown. She has
Needle Crown.
She's gonna pull out the scimitar signed by Drayden O'Malley, and just.
Oh my goodness, the Center Hub member. She tweets. That's impressive. I haven't seen any members of the Center Hub myself.
I also.
Another one!
Signed by Xerxes, yeah.
Oh!
I'm trying to get the whole collection.
Well, best of luck with that!
Thank you.
We're gonna need more scimitars.
Not that we have on our person, but you're welcome to find more scimitars if that is exclusively what you're trying to get all the signs from.
I mean,
Signature, sorry.
I do also want to ask, I've heard word about, I've been trying to find Madame Aurora. You see, I'm her scribe. I work as kind of an archivist in the tower. I help with little bits and pieces around the house, and well, she hadn't come back for a while. And the most recent clue we found led us to Branchmorrow. So,
All right. Well, I've heard of Madame Aurora. Powerful wizard. She is very strong, from what I know. She's gone missing. For how long?
It's been a few months.
Months?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've known wizards to go on just tirades for as long as they please, but Madame Aurora is rather timely from what I hear, so that's out of character.
She's never been gone this long before.
Well, I consider myself quite proficient in use of arcane arts, but I don't know if I can give you any insight into that. However, I know someone at Juniper Hill who might be able to help you.
Oh.
Juniper Hill. Oh, Juniper Hill is the prestigious magic academy up a few layers up from
You guys have a magic academy?
The best in the weave.
Well, we have to visit that. Oh, you look very excited.
They have a magic academy.
Yes, they sure do. I
It's
think we should
heard
visit.
about magic academies. Directly a magic academy.
This is the first time I've ever been to. This will be the first time I've ever been to one.
I would be so happy to meet you, to let you all have a rendezvous with my friend Professor Kazam and have him give you maybe a little tour.
Whoa, hang on.
What of the Alakazam?
His friends call him Al.
Oh!
So Pebbles swoons, I suppose. But that's all about.
Don't forget about Professor Kadabra.
Oh!
He was blacklisted months ago.
Oh, sorry,
I
of course.
didn't want to break the news to you.
What a great teacher.
What a great teacher. He was blacklisted.
Like, we don't know why.
Are these people serious?
Oh, you haven't heard the hot goss.
Leorica is beside herself with knowledge of a man named Professor Kazam.
And his blacklisted
Well, that is all above us in that is all above us, and of course the branches and the canopy. But here in the trunks, Mr. Spindle is here. I could, whenever you're ready, we can all go and pay him a visit.
Yes, I would desperately like to meet him, for sure.
Delightful.
Remind me, the Trunks is the market district?
The trunks is where we are right now. That is where
Farming.
people live and where farming is.
Yeah.
Above us is...
Above us.
Yes, above us is
Above
market
us.
and the church is in the branch.
On the topics of farms, if you all can look out the window and see there are some areas where all these birdhouse structures are, but there's also gigantic fruit being grown on some of the branches, and you can see some spiders pruning it and putting them into large woven baskets and putting them along on pulleys, and there's a conveyor belt system that takes them up to be sliced and divvied out,
I
presumably.
mean, I've heard of it, but that fruit's bigger than me.
Giant
And I'm a big boy.
Strawberry.
It does seem to be mostly arboreal fruit. Strawberries are more vine. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember how strawberries are grown. Mostly like oranges and apples.
Giant tree fruit.
Giant tree
It's the
fruit.
giant peach. Now we just have to meet someone named James.
I don't get it.
You need to read more, Pebbles.
Known
You're
weave
so
wide
right.
author Roald Dahl,
Roll doll.
the orc.
Hell yeah.
Go.
Would you? So you can spend some more time in Little Miss McQuaid's place, or you can go to Mr. Spindle's
You
house.
see, Jeremy's kind of vibrating near the door, ready to go to see Spindle, but he's not. He wants to give you guys the time.
Pebbles is going to peek around through the astronomy section to do a little research. Or I imagine she has like
she
a
has a
smaller
little bit of
study.
book. She welcomes you to her collection.
Yeah, she's gonna go over to like the astronomy section and like start. She's gonna sit down and start doing her research. And you see, like as she goes, she is incredibly careful. You watch as she pulls out like a pair of black gloves, prestidigitations to clean them, and like uses like tweezers. She pulls out like a monocle. Like she has a full like archivist set to ensure that she is as gentle and careful as possible with these texts.
Oh, your friend's awfully thorough in this year.
Very thorough.
Constellation and perspective. She's gonna go through it.
Pebbles, do you have an interest in the cracks in the sky?
You already set her on a warpath.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Be careful.
It is a little embarrassing. So if I say you promise not to laugh, you have to promise not to laugh.
I give you my word.
Remember
It's
what
alright.
we talked about last night, Pebbles?
It's alright.
Well,
Quaith, I'm sure, would love to hear this.
be careful with such topics so close to a church of Arachnid.
I have a little bit of a theory.
Oh dear.
A little bit of a theory I've had cooking up, and based on like different perspective and some experiments I've run and some little things here I've heard here and there. I think the weave might be spherical.
Jeremy leaves the room so he's not present for this conversation.
There's the one room house.
Jeremy stands outside, yes. I don't have to report it if I don't hear it.
I would as well.
Quaith walks over to you, sets a hand on your shoulder and gestures you towards the window as you both look out of it. You too.
Yes! Yes! You watch as Pebble's face goes from like worried, like kind of interested in sharing this thing, like concerned to you too, and she's gonna like start talking back and forth, just like, okay, like look, I know it sounds ridiculous, but orc weavers, they weave their orbs in like a spherical shape. I think it's entirely possible.
There's a lot of circular quite things. I mean, the continent itself is
Exactly.
mostly circular, and even though the celestial anchors are so far out, there's no telling what's past.
Exactly. It's a nest of one-dimensional strings and two-dimensional planes to form a three-dimensional object. I mean, think of the possibilities.
I can't believe someone else thinks this way. I've been too embarrassed to talk to Nasir about this because he'd make fun of me.
Oh, I'm so glad I found a like-minded academic.
It was easier when I was his teacher and I could just smack him on the wrist with a ruler, but now that we're friends, it's a lot more difficult.
Come back to Nasir's. No, I don't think you're crazy.
Nasir 5 on deception check and not crazy.
So, you all see,
I'm gonna compare notes and fangirl with her.
Quaith feverently talking with Pebbles, and Axel just leans over to Dirk and goes, she's really ripping into the lass, ain't she?
Jeremy.
She'll be all. She's really ripping into the lass, ain't she?
I think they're sharing notes.
Well, that can't be right.
Jeremy leans over to
It's hard
Larrica.
to tell from this angle.
Quiet here.
This might become a problem.
I would agree.
I would agree.
And on that note, we will have to wait until next week to go meet Archibald Spindle as Quaith and Pebbles talk about some heresy.
And we have a new mystery in the campaign. The Great Silence? Pfft, we gotta know if the world is round or not.
Do we?
It's true! Listen,
See you next time.
two-dimensional planes. It's real, I swear!